Computer technology and digital communication has come a long way. Over 2/3 of the world use the internet, and there are currently more mobile connections than there are people. This has resulted in the continued rise in cybercrime and the increased sophistication of organized crime groups. Some have adopted a corporate structure with research and development, marketing departments, and even employee of the month schemes. These groups carry out cyber attacks, attempts to gain unauthorized access to a computer or network with the intent to steal, damage, or alter crucial information. Most often with the aim of making money, but sometimes for political or ideological reasons, and sometimes just because they can. Systems are constantly updating and being reinforced with new security measures, so attackers often choose an old school approach and target the people who use those systems instead. Criminals bombard you with variations of tried and tested scams in the hopes that a poor security practice, a momentary lapse in concentration, or fatigue will cause you to slip up. Digital solutions prevent most of these attacks from ever reaching you, but not all. That's where your own security awareness comes in. Security awareness is not about being perfect at all times or knowing every type of cybercrime. It's about spotting the telltale signs of an attack, what to do should an attack occur, and the techniques and practices that remove avenues of attack. These avenues of attack are sometimes referred to as threat vectors. Some are used more than others. They can overlap, and they share a common DNA, which, when understood, can make them easier to secure. Your information exists behind walls of digital security. Rather than crack these walls, criminals would prefer you to open the door. Social engineering refers to the techniques used to manipulate you into doing just that. It is the most common method criminals use to breach security defenses. There are elements of social engineering in all threat vectors, and it involves 4 stages. 1. Investigate. The criminal gathers information on their targets, often through social media. 2. Hook. They fabricate a story or pretext to gain trust and motivate the victim to act. 3. Extract. Having gained the victim's trust, they obtain the money, login information, or sensitive data they were after. 4. Exit. They end the interaction, cover their tracks, and if their obtained data leads them to a new target, they start the process all over again. Each of these stages is both a warning sign and an opportunity to stop a breach. 1. Be careful what you post on social media and who you connect with. 2. Carefully check email addresses and IDs and watch out for unusual requests, threats, or urgency. 3. Supervise office visitors. Scan email attachments and inspect hyperlinks. 4. Report any attempt to breach your organization's security. It helps protect against future attacks. Examples of social engineering include tailgating, where a criminal gains physical access to a restricted area by following an authorized individual. Pretexting, in which the criminal creates a pretext or fabricated scenario and impersonates a trusted individual within that scenario in order to request your personal information. And phishing. Roughly 1/3 of all data breaches can be traced back to phishing emails, and it's not hard to see why. A criminal can pretend to be whoever they want, fabricate a convincing story, and then request sensitive data via a variety of methods, or get you to download malicious software onto your computer, sprinkle in a few rewards, threats, or time limits to rush you into making a mistake, and their work is complete. There are different types of phishing. They can be sent en masse or targeted via email, phone, or social media. They can impersonate a public service, a vendor, or your boss. Spam filters will intercept most phishing emails before they reach you, but that means that the ones that get through will appear very convincing. There are a number of elements to watch out for: sender address, poor quality logos or design, typos, urgent calls to action, requests for personal information, fraudulent links. Spotting and reporting phishing emails cuts off a significant number of avenues of attack for criminals to exploit. Avenues like credential theft. Attackers with valid user IDs and passwords have unobstructed access to your organization's data. If social engineering doesn't get them your password, their next step is to guess it. They can guess at 1,000,000 times per second. They start with commonly used passwords, then passwords obtained from previous leaks, ones based on known personal information, and finally, random words, numbers, and symbols, although this is where they'll give up unless they're very patient. So, to keep your passwords safe, it should be uncommon, unique, random, and long. Password managers can help you to generate and store unique and secure passwords for all your devices and accounts. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, provides extra verification methods such as a PIN or fingerprint identification. The web has its own form of verification: HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. When you visit a secure site, you will see a lock icon. This indicates that the identity of the website has been authenticated, and any information you enter will be encrypted. Unsecure websites are not necessarily fraudulent, but you should never enter any information into a website without the padlock symbol. You should also use ad blockers, unique passwords for different accounts, a VPN or virtual private network when using public Wi-Fi, and install browser updates regularly. If you don't update regularly, criminals can exploit vulnerabilities in your browser to automatically download malicious software onto your device from unsecure websites or pop-ups. Malware can also be unintentionally installed from email attachments and infected USB devices. Different types of malware perform different functions, from spying on you to making your computer spy on others to encrypting or deleting files for the purpose of ransom. For each, the solution is the same: report phishing emails, browse safely, keep your antivirus and operating system updated, and keep a backup of all your files should the worst happen. Removable devices like USB sticks or portable hard drives can be infected with malware and spread that infection to any computer they're plugged into. They're also easily lost or stolen. They present a significant security risk. For that reason, some companies block USB devices. If you do use removable devices, keep them close, enable encryption and remote wiping, and never plug an unknown device into your computer. Mobile devices present the same risks as removable devices and combine them with the risks of web browsing and using public Wi-Fi. Install antivirus, use multi-factor authentication, and use a VPN. The same security precautions that apply in your office apply when working from home, with the added responsibility of making sure your Wi-Fi router has a strong and unique password and your home office is physically secure. While the details of cyber attacks may vary over time, the basic principles do not change. Criminals want to access your information to monetize it or damage your company's reputation. They will attempt to manipulate you into giving them that access. But you can protect your personal information and the confidential information of your organization by being aware of the techniques they use and following security precautions. Be careful what information you share on social media. Be wary of any requests to provide access or login information, especially when accompanied by a sense of urgency or unusual pretext. Take a moment to examine email and social media communication for signs of phishing and report any phishing attempts to your IT department. No matter the technique they use, if your password is strong enough, no hacker can crack it. The padlock icon in your web browser indicates an encrypted connection. Update all software regularly. Take extra precautions when using removable and mobile devices and working remotely.